Hi there, BattleTech and Mech Warrior fans. Welcome back to another video. I just kind of got into the groove of doing a few things, so I thought I'd do another video. Just to go over some things that I found, and let me start a little bit, give you some background. So I bought the Snord Irregular Assault Lance. It's a great set, I think, personally. I like the bits that you get in there. And then having done the videos and looking at it, so for some reason I had a bizarre thought where I was like, let me paint Snord Irregular Assault Lance. And then I was like, well, actually, I just don't want to do the four. I rather did the company. So I've got a bunch of mechs I can use, so either for campaign play or just as a mech force or just to put on show. Now, Rhonda is a amazing character and personality. So are most of the mech warriors in that unit in itself. They're very individual, but I know that they paint their mech warrior, sorry, their mechs pink. Now, I think I've got the box art here, and I'm sure I showed it last time, but you can see the pink there. It does look great, and when I saw the artwork, I thought, you know what, like pink is one of those odd colors where on some things it looks amazing, on some things you think, nah, I don't know, I'm not sure about that. But then, excuse me, I've never really painted pink, so it's like, how do I go about painting pink? Because there's a couple of ways, and it can look really bad, and yeah, I got myself into one of those like downward whirlpools, and it's a sinkhole of like procrastination and not doing anything, or and I was like, gosh, I've got to get myself out of it, and I did it, and I was particularly happy with the results, but I thought I'd share my experimentation results. So a couple of things. This is one of my early attempts. I got this Vallejo shift color, electric blue, and I thought, well, it's got a bit of a shade of a pink, purple, and I can maybe highlight it. And there's a griffin here, you can see, and it's a lovely intense blue. It does shine very well, but it's not really pink, and there's no way I can highlight this. So anyway, that was out the window. But in case you do want to like look at alternate metallic paints and stuff like that, that is really nice. I do like it. Then from Army Painter, I thought, well, let's try this royal purple. You can see that royal purple. See how that turns out. And again, yeah, it's nice. In the camera, it doesn't come across very purple, but it is. There's a nice kind of purpleness to it. Very much like a Marek royal mech as such. But yeah, it's not pink, and highlighting everything else. I mean, I could do the armor plates in pink and stuff, but anyway, whatever, it didn't work out. So my next bet was to go for contrast. So I got this voluptuous pink, and now contrast is really good for sorry, excuse me, because I'm talking quite fast. I'm getting this cough, particularly throat. Anyway, yeah, so contrast is very good on organic objects and miniatures, because it naturally flows into recesses. When you're painting on flat surface, it tends to pull, and it pulls a lot. Even if you move the paint around and everything else. So anyway, I had to do one, and I did one, and this is the result. So you can see it comes across very patchy, and like, believe me, I went over it a couple of times, like moving the paint away and moving it around, and you can still see it is very patchy, and you can get away with it. I wouldn't be too perturbed, especially once you start painting the gun barrels metal or black or whatever, and you put your scheme on a little bit. I think it would work all right, and it's fast, really, really good. That takes you all of like 10 minutes. So it's obviously a prime black, put a white on it, and then contrast paint, and then just move it around until you're happy. Now, something else that you could do with this, and I did try it, is to then go in with a dry brush, because your shading is pretty much done, and you could dry brush a pink on, and then it's down to you what pink you want to use. And bizarrely, I don't have a lot of pink colours or paints, because apart from like the flesh ones for doing organic characters and stuff like that, it's very difficult. But anyway, I then did this other one. So this is, I think, not bad. It's a little bit more purple than pink, I think. Let me put this white card to see if it comes up any better, so you can see it. So anyway, it's a Black Knight. I think it looks fine. It's okay. There's some highlighting in there. But how do I get there? So what I did, if I can remember rightly, was I used black primer, then used this purple, Xeris purple from Citadel, followed by a Screamer pink base, which I was happy with. And then I actually put contrast voluptuous, where is it? The voluptuous one, the voluptuous pink on there. And that really did nicely deepen it and go in. And then I went in with the highlight of a Emperor's Children from Citadel. And that was it. And that's all right. I mean, does it match the artwork a little bit better? Actually, that's quite all right. I think that's not bad at all, considering. But then I thought, well, it's not really pink, because I know that artwork is pink, and that Highlander is definitely pink. I'm just looking at it, and I'm just noticing some differences between the model and the actual mech. Actually, so I'll show you this one here. So there's the differences there. You can see in the artwork, the gun is actually different, and that weapon is not there. It's actually got an LRM. It seems to have an LRM rack on the left hand side, and this one doesn't. Anyway, whatever. So yes, so I did a pink Highlander, and so how do I get to this stage? What I did was black primer, Xerxes purple, and then dry brush on Emperor's Children. And there's a heavy dry brush, a lot of dry brush, and it does go on quite patchy. And then I went in on the panel lines, and I did the panel lines again, and I just cut in so 1 or 2 layers. It sounds like a lot of work. It took me about an hour and a half to get to this stage. Everything done. That's really good for a Mech Mini, and I'm not particularly upset with that. And I think it does look all right. I mean, it's actually come out quite nice. I think it's okay. Very janky mech, different from the artwork in the back there, but it's done, and I think it's all right. And then, like, I was like, wait, yeah, okay, that's all right, that's quite good. And I actually, when I compare the two, you can notice it. There are different shades, but they work all right, I think. I'm not. Let me know which one you prefer, guys, because then I might do more of that one than the other. My preference is probably this one because it's very different, and I don't do pink often, and I do like this. This is kind of like of a more magenta maroon than it is a pink, but I think the lore and artwork sometimes gets a little bit confused. But anyway, we'll see. They're both great mechs, by the way, and they look really nice. So I'm not... and again, they were both the same amount of work, roughly. I just need to do some basing on it, and I'm not sure if I want to, actually, because they actually look all right like this. But I do like basing miniatures when I do get a chance. Now, yeah, so that's the main force. And then I thought, well, I want to do the company, so where am I going to find that information? But before I get there, I do want to show you one of the other mechs in the box. It's the guillotine, the jumping guillotine. So yes, I have managed to attach the jump plumes at the bottom, and they are painted. And I have done the plume, jump plume. And this was a big worry, because I was like, I don't know how to do this, and it's going to be a problem. And there isn't much on YouTube to really follow that I thought was good enough for where I am at with my painting, because I do like to push myself whenever I can. Not because I'm any good, only because I like to have that challenge. There, you can probably see it better. So anyway, how did I get here to this, if you are interested? It was basically black primer, white dry brush, and when I say dry brush, it was a heavy dry brush. So I actually did all the recesses as well, pretty much. I just coated it. You could probably get away with doing a white primer, to be honest, and save yourself a bunch of hassle. And then I was like, well, how am I going to get this smoky, cloudy stuff? Because that's going to be kind of difficult to do. So that was probably a great use of contrast. And it's basilicum grey. Amazing. Absolutely brilliant. And I could probably have done a lot more of this and just call it done, and that would have been it. And that's a nice, simple way of getting that plume of smoke. The top part here was straightforward. It's just a yellow dry brush. And then if you've got like an ink, I still have blood letter, and I didn't bring that out. Citadel blood letter, and again, I just put it into here, into more of the recesses, then a white dry brush, and you know what, you're pretty much done. And oh, by the way, yes, here I did do a white dry brush, so I dry brushed it down to get into this stage, and then I put a matte varnish on it as well. So yeah, done. I mean, that I think looks all right. It's okay. The mech's not finished, by the way. I've still got a lot more to do on it. I need to do the barrels, the flash, sorry, the night cam. No, it's not night cam. It's a search torchy lighty thingy. Sorry. I think the cockpit's going to be a bit tough on this one, but we'll get there. I've smudged that, but I might keep that. Actually, that kind of looks nice because it looks like it's been scratched up a bit, and so yeah, I might keep some of that there. But apart from that, I want to keep all of this stuff where I've done, because I think sometimes when this was really pink, I was like, I need to break it up, and having that blue, and that blue here is the Howith blue, which is a nice little blue, and it just brings out, brings things out. It makes it pop a little bit more. And the gold is a retributed gold with a Reikland shade wash. Have a look at, where is that one here? The Frankenmech. Oh, this is all right, actually. So, like here, on the Frankenmech, you can see that. And again, I need to go with, it's not finished. I've got to do the gold here a bit more. I need to do the LRM rack inside. I need to do the cockpit and the antennae communications equipment there, and then probably at the back I'll probably do a few bits and pieces there, and I think that'll be done. I want to get this one red, I think, rather than the Screamer pink that I've used, so that'll be red. But yeah, I thought I'd just show you some work in progress that you can see and think, you know, whatever you think of it. Can I put that there like that, and you can sort of see that in the background. They look all right, and I was particularly pleased with the Black Knight. I do like that. I just love the sculpt, but I'd like the Highlander too. Okay, right. So yeah, I was looking, and I know I've got lots of source books, but here is, and I can't show you. Can I go put it back further, and you might be able to see it? There, yeah. It's turn my camera up a little bit. There you go, Snord, Irregulars. There you go. That's the book. It's an old book, done in the maybe the 90s or thereabouts. Very, very early. And then at the back here, and I'll put it there so you can see it, is the Lance. So the company, but done by Lance. So you've got the Command Lance, the Assault Lance, and the Recon Lance. And Ronda pilots the Shadowhawk there. So this is a 3020 era that they're in, and you've got like in there, you got Cranston Snord in his Archer, and you got the Warhammer, the Thunderbolt, the Wolverine, all classic mechs. The Recon Lance is quite janky because at the time when they're writing this, they only had 4 or 5 Recon light mechs to use. Wasp, Stinger, Locust. When I say 4 or 5, I think there were the 3. That was it. And then later on, that's when the other mechs started coming out, like the Flea and the Jenners, the Panthers, blah, blah, blah. But then somebody else has made a really good point, and I've had this internal debate for quite some time, is that some of the older staff whilst it was great for the time, as you play BattleTech more and more, the recon mechs, like the Phoenix Hawk in there, is probably good on its point, you know. But things like Wasp and Locust, when you're having to move a company of mechs around, you want to get as much bang as possible in that space, in that slot. Wasps and Stingers and Locusts, whilst they're great looking mechs, and they do have a role, by the way, but it's not with a individual company type force where you are as a company going in to do certain objectives. They just need to be a little bit bulkier, stronger, better. So things like, for example, Jenna's come into play. The Ost series does, but they move slower. Phoenix Hawks is great. I'm sure there's others, but like, anyway, I'm just mentioning that there because, yeah, anyway. But I thought something that you might want to see is like some of the skill levels are just incredible. But let's have a look at, I want to show you Rhonda, because she is hilariously funny. Because at the time, I can't remember, yeah, here she is, Rhonda. Her skill level in a mech, that you can see there, her skill level is Gunnery Mech 4. Pilot Mech 4. So she was a 4-4 target modified, whereas somebody like here, Shalimar, look at their, no, sorry, there's another guy in here who's really, really good, I just thought. But yeah, I mean, that piloting level was just incredible. Maybe I didn't see it, what I thought I saw. But they're all kind of like 4s at the moment. I thought I'd saw better. Yeah, here. So this Deb Hushu, pilots a Thunderbolt. Look at that. Gunnery Mech level 7, base modified target 1, and piloting 2. Total awesomeness in the command lance. Absolutely, yeah, brilliant. Anyway, so yes, they definitely had some level of skill. Now, something else in terms of Rhonda's Irregulars, and I think this will be a awesome thing that if you're running a campaign, and somebody asked me in one of my videos, how do you play BattleTech? Well, you can play skirmish, and I will do a video on it, so I don't want to sort of preempt that video. But anyway, this one here, Rhonda's Irregulars source book, updated. It's not update. It's just another campaign book. It's set in the clan era, clan invasion era, and it's a great way of like having like Star League era mechs facing clan mechs and Rhonda's forces, and just going through the whole campaign. It's brilliant, and like there's a whole company of units in here, and then like obviously you've got a roster of mechs. So that's, I'll put it here so you might be able to see it better. Sorry, I'm not very good at cameras and stuff like that. If I can bend it, there you go. There's Rhonda, and her skill level, Pilot 2 Gunnery 1. So she had improved a lot by the clan invasion era. That is an amazing book. It's probably one of the top campaign source books. Scenario books I would recommend. Just great for, you know, just picking it up, put your forces together and playing. And I've used it to insert a different mercenary company in instead, and that worked really nicely as well. So it's a great way of like playing you know, part of the lore and getting some good use out of your mechs. Anyway, that's it. It's too long a video that I thought, but I just thought I should just share some things I've done. I hope it helps you guys out to sort out what colours you want to do and how you're going to be painting this force up. I have picked out some other mechs I do want to do. I've kind of like gone with some of the ones like I think that they would probably have. Not so lighty, and I'm using this. I think this is an Incubus. It's a clan mech, I think, or something. But I thought, you know what, I can pretend this as a proxy for anything really, and it just looks really nice. But anyway, and I'll probably add these Phoenix Hawk and the Crusader in. There's the Flashman in there, Warhammer, King Crab. I've got to have an Archer in there for Crampton Snord, and that gives me what 13. 14 mechs to play with. I'll redo that Commando, and I'll probably redo this Griffin as well. So that's 16 mechs. Nice little force that I can just play with and do things with. But anyway, I do hope you liked the video. Leave any comments behind. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you in the next video. Stay safe. Bye.